Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. We're outside today because we have a little problem that I thought we'd deal with on camera. Problems come up in the garden all the time. Indoor, outdoor, it happens. So what's the problem? This here is the problem. So what is the problem with this plant? Looks fine, looks great. Not overly pot bound. Looks beautiful and lush. The problem is that I watered this little thing yesterday, and in the process of watering it, a whole lot of ants came pouring out. Now, I have had this happen to me before, a couple of times with my outdoor plants, and once with an indoor plant. What I believe has happened is an ant's nest has moved in. I swear I live on Swiss cheese, but we need to find out. It's possible when I watered it yesterday, the ants decided to move out. A lot of them certainly came out of the bottom of this plant, but it's also possible that they decided to move back in. And I'm holding essentially an ant's nest. And right now, we're going to find out. How? We're going to water it again. What we're going to do is we're going to douse this all over again like we did, exactly like we did yesterday. So it's going to pour out the bottom. And doing this in winter is not the greatest idea. Because, you know, I'm watering it twice in 2 days. It certainly doesn't need that. This is not recommended unless you have an ant's nest that you're trying to figure out whether you've still got. But this will certainly tell us very soon as to whether we still have an ant's nest in here, because sooner rather than later, they're going to come pouring out. So I've now emptied the entire 2 litres of water into the plant, and now we have to observe. This could be a complete anticlimax, by the way. Oh no, it's not an anticlimax. Let me bring you in closer. These ants have come from inside the pot. They've just come crawling out here. So I've just given the plant a bit of a hard tap. Like I lifted it up and really tapped it quite hard. And that has certainly triggered a whole bunch of these ants to come pouring out. So I believe we do still have an ant's nest in here. And simply put, I don't want it here. Ants can live somewhere other than my pot plants. So now that we've established that there's definitely still an ant's nest in here, what do? We have to do a very careful repot. This is the brickwork that's directly under the plant. So that's the plant right there. And if I come down here, straight down, I can see what must be a million ants. Although if they move into my Masdevallias, I will not be impressed. So now the question is, do we repot the plant? Well, what I think is that we need to give this ant colony a chance to re-establish itself elsewhere. And I'm not going to go disturbing it. I have no reason to disturb this ant colony. It is moving out. I have no desire to kill the colony. I'm not a fan of killing any creature. Ants too want to live, just like all of living creatures want to live, just like all plants want to live. And who am I to disrupt that? I've disrupted them enough by getting them to move out of the orchid. I could sit and watch this for hours. I really could. It probably won't take hours for them to move out. So I think we just wait. We'll wait and give them time to do their thing, to move out, find somewhere else to live. They probably won't go that far. So now it's the next morning. It's pretty early, and I've come out here to come and check on both the plant and also to check whether we've got a big nest still moving. And what I've been able to see down here is that there are ants, but there's very few of them moving back and forth now. Nothing like it was last night. So now it's time to see what's in the pot. And I'm really interested to see this because this is a lot lighter than what it used to be. So what I've got here is a new pot, and I've already put some larger size bark in there. It's really a medium bark. It's not the largest bark, but it's pine bark. That's just gone into a drainage at the very bottom of the pot. And make sure the smaller parts of the substrate just don't fall through the bottom. That's ready to go. And I've also got my mix of mainly small bark, perlite, a tiny bit of cocoa and a little bit of horticultural charcoal. So that's ready to go. So I'm going to put this down here. So while I'm unpotting, I'm going to introduce you to this orchid because it never came with a tag, but I believe it to be a Dendrobium kingianum hybrid of some sort. Now, it does have a little bit of sun damage. That's nothing really big deal to worry about, where they do get a little bit of direct winter sun. So I may risk a little burn leaf here and there. And this thing is a keiki machine. You'll see keikis are little plantlets that come off the plant. They grow off the plant and eventually they fall off. So, and then they root in whatever they find, really. So let's be wary that we may have more ants in here. And that's why I want to do this on this silver tray, because it'll make cleaning up a lot easier. It's pretty light because there's more soil in there than I actually gave it credit for. Oh, well, it's looking a bit broken down anyway, so, but it's falling out pretty nicely. And the plant has had a couple of waters in the last 2 days as we were encouraging the nest of ants to kindly set up house elsewhere, removing all the substrate as much as we reasonably can without hopefully damaging too many roots. It's a really tough orchid. So even if we take out a couple of roots here and there, it's certainly not going to harm this plant. Not at all. It will come bouncing back and, you know, it's very, very healthy. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you can see how the little keiki plantlets grow like this on the stem of the other canes. Now, some of these are going to be just coming off like that. That's okay. If we want, we can pop those up. So another one like that. And we're just going to continue to massage out the majority of the bark here. And no ants. So the ants have moved out. So now what we're getting into now is the last of the substrate. I could divide this. I could split it up. I don't really want to because I like this specimen as it is. And it's not like I'm short of little plantlets to grow on. Oh, I seem to have a natural place where this wants to divide right here. See that? But I'm not doing so. I'm just going to clean it out and keep it together. That's all I'm going to do. And there's not a lot of dead roots here. This thing gets sprays of flowers. The flowers actually come from the top and the sides of these canes and stalks here. And it's just in a massive colour. Oh, more keikis. We'll put the keikis over here. We'll get rid of this and then we'll get this into a new pot. New pot. So I'm going to put a good degree of this straight in. Sorry you can't see me, but, you know, I didn't bother getting a seat. Next time I'll bother bringing a seat out, so, you know. All right, so I've filled in a bit to there. Now, I like to sort of try to shove a bit into the top of a root ball like this. I find, believe it or not, it helps. Provided you don't spill it everywhere. Hopefully you spill it in the pot. So, now, what we want to do is just spend time backfilling. These are very tough roots. They'll take a little bit of pushing the substrate in without a drama. And again, if you notice, this substrate that I've used here is pretty much a slight modification on my regular houseplant soil mix. If you haven't seen that video, I'll make it the next video at the end of this one. And I recommend you go watch that. One part horticultural charcoal, 3 to 4 parts small pine bark. That would be the small pine bark. A dash of perlite to create that sort of consistency. So that's a coarse grade perlite or a medium coarse grade perlite. A little bit of large bark. how far down. So we've still got, we're about down to there. So I feel that. I want to put a little bit more in here. So if we kind of have a look, I can show you that. So in such a chunky media, it won't matter if I've, buried the bottom of the stalks. The plant will be, this media is so airy and so light that it's not going to rot or harm anything. So what am I going to do with these little cakeys? Well, I found a cute little pot. So I'm literally just going to pop these up like this. Oh, that's got a good root system and it's got a good rhizome. And yeah, I can pop all of these in here. These like to be a little snug, so they should grow up quite well. And I'll have another little pot of little Kingianum cakeys. These don't have roots. Well, kind of has a little bit of a root, but not really. But we'll pop them in there anyway, and if they die off, they die off. So it doesn't hurt. So once they've all like that, we'll grab a little bit of potting soil and gently allow that to fall into the crevices here. Stay away from the largest pieces of bark. This one will prefer the smaller pieces of bark. And essentially just let that fall. And there we have it. So I hope you'd enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for popping along with me today for this repot. It was an interesting problem, having an ant's nest crawl and make its way into a plant. But it's just one of the things that can happen as a plant parent, particularly in my climate where I am, where there are lots of ant nests around. We'll give these a nice big drink, yes again, because this media is very, very dry, and set them back up. And now we wait for them to flower. And don't forget to check out the next video on the end of this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.